Hi, I'm Terry, one of the Consumer Technology Specialists at Mid-Continent Public Library, and today we are going to add text to a document in Google Docs. To get us started today, I've already opened Google Docs, and I've also already opened a blank document. That document is represented by the white rectangle that you see on the page, and it really represents a sheet of paper. But with Google Docs, the most important thing you can do is go to the upper left where you see the words Untitled Document. Unlike Microsoft products where you would do a file save and then give your document a name, because Google Docs automatically saves your documents, you want to be sure to give this a name right from the beginning, because if you don't save it soon enough, you will have an untitled document. And if you forget to save this document, then when you go back later and try to open the document again, what you'll see in that list of documents is untitled document. And you might have 5 or 10 untitled documents. And the only way you would be able to find it then is to look for a particular date when it was created or modified. So the best thing we can do is come up to where it says Untitled Document and click. And then once we have that blue background, just start typing. You don't really need to backspace or space or delete, but just start typing. So I'm going to type example document. Now as soon as I finish typing and press enter, look to the right and you'll see that it even tells me that it's starting to save this document. So let me press enter, and now on the right it says saving. Now it's small, so it's going to go fast. And it tells us that that has now been saved to Google Drive. To the left of that cloud icon, we have a folder icon, and that means that you could create a folder in Google Drive and save this example document to that folder in Google Drive. And that's a really nice organization tool, but since we're just creating an example document, we probably won't do that today. Now that we've given our document a name, you'll notice that there are 2 items that we probably should discuss. The first one here is an arrow that is my mouse pointer, that as soon as I move my mouse onto the page, it changes into what some people will call an I-beam. And what that lets us do is go into text when we have some, click, and then insert more text where we have existing text. So we'll look at that just a little bit later. We also have, though, starting in the upper left of our sheet of paper, a short vertical blinking line that, again, some people will call an insertion point. And what that insertion point does is tell us where, if we start typing, our text will appear. So let's use that insertion point now to type a title for our document. And notice that as I start typing, so let's call it example, as I type the E, the insertion point moves to the right, showing that that's where the next character will show. So we'll call this example story. And then if that's all I want to type, because, well, that's my title, then I press enter on my keyboard and the insertion point moves down to the next line. Well, let's type another really short line here as the beginning of our example story. So we'll say, it is sunny today. And again, notice that that insertion point is always to the right of the text where I've already typed, and it shows me where I'm going to type the next character. Well, in this case, we want to go down to another new line, so I'm going to press enter again. Sometimes you want to type more than a short line, and maybe even type several sentences that go together into a paragraph. The thing is, what we don't want to do is, as we get to the far right of our document, and as I look at our ruler, I can see that this is about where my right margin will be. I don't want to press enter at the end of each line, but I want to use something that is called word wrap to just keep typing and let Google Docs determine how those lines will be created. So let's type a little bit more in our next sentence or two and watch how that word wrap helps us type a much longer set of sentences and maybe even that paragraph. So let's see, it is sunny today. The birds are chirping. The rabbits and squirrels are running around in the yard. New sentence. I can hear. Now, as I get close to this margin, watch what happens. The kids, and as I typed kids, that was too long and was going to go over into the right margin. So now it has automatically come down to a new line. I can hear the kids in the neighbor's yard. Period. Now, if that's the end of my paragraph, I press enter again. If I want to add another sentence, then I just keep typing. But in this case, I've finished my very short paragraph here, and I can press enter to go down to another line. Because we have used word wrap instead of pressing enter at the end of a line, I can very easily go back and insert a word using my I-beam and not worry about how the words will adjust on the page. So, for example, the birds are chirping, the rabbits and squirrels are running around in the, let me use my I-beam to click, get my insertion point before yard, and then type back, space, yard, and notice how I now have the end of that first line as here, I can hear, and then Docs has automatically adjusted, and so now the kids has moved down to the new line. To learn more about Google Docs, be sure to join us at mymcpl.org/online learning. There you'll see such great resources as Universal Class, lynda.com, Who Knew It, and Learning Express Library. Be sure to join us every week as we discuss a variety of tech topics.